I'm Martin Brenchley-Cooper. I'm the head of ICT at Helen Douglas House. Helen Douglas House Hospice improves the lives of locally and terminally ill children and their families in the Oxfordshire and surrounding areas. We are the world's first children's hospice. We opened in 1982, so this year is our 40th anniversary, and look after 173 children and their families. The hospice itself is comprised of 2 buildings based in Oxford, and we have 24 shops currently around the Thames Valley area. When I joined, there was a partnership already with GHM. They were providing support for our aging phone system, and we continued that support on. We then, because the phone system was getting of an old stage, we were looking at replacing it, and GHM were one of the 7 companies we approached to tender for its replacement. GHM themselves provide now the support for our current telephone system, which they've implemented for us, and they manage the system. And while I have my team sort of manage a lot of the day-to-day, we've got GHM there to back up that support for us. And recently we've started to use GHM to assist my team in looking after the service and all that, which is allowing me to step back from the day-to-day and leave that to my team and GHM to run. The reason for going for a hosted telephone system, as I was saying earlier, is we're trying to move now into the 21st century and use the best technology. So a cloud-hosted system gave us a flexibility that should we lose the electric to the buildings, our generators don't work, we could revert and use mobile phones to still receive the important phone calls that we need from the families in the hospitals, because in their time of crisis, the last thing they want is not able to reach out and get the help that they dearly need. Our reception is manned by a lot of volunteers, which during COVID we couldn't have on site, but we still need to have calls answered and directed to the right departments. So having an auto attendant system that can work with nobody on site and put through calls to people that want on site was most valuable to us. We're benefiting from the fact that staff have been able to answer calls wherever. So with a hosted system, they've got soft phones and they either have it on the laptop or the mobiles, which again means they don't miss calls coming through. And that includes the clinical staff if they're off site. If a parent needs to talk to a doctor and all that, they still can. My team have found working with GHM, the implementation of training, especially with the phone system, was extremely easy. GHM were very flexible on the timings and all that. I think we had one occasion where the trainer turned up and we had no staff for them to train. There wasn't any complaints or being charged extra for that day. They came back a day that suited us. In a 24-hour operation, especially where children are involved, it's not always easy to get the care team together. GHM worked with us long enough now, they know our operation, they know how we like to function, and they know the importance to us to be able to receive those calls. Again, if there's a parent that's in distress, there's nothing worse than either waiting on the phone for someone to answer or the call never getting through. We had an occasion where our Wi-Fi phones weren't working. On an occasion, GHM technician wasn't available, but the technical director jumped in his car, come over himself, because he realised how important it is for us to receive those calls. The onboarding was an absolute dream. The added advantage was actually on the day I had one of my team off on holiday, which was planned for, but on the Sunday night I had a text message from my other technician to say he was off ill. So there was just myself and the engineer from GHM who actually just stepped up to the mark. I helped unbox everything, but he walked around the entire organisation plugging phones in and testing them so I could focus on the day-to-day, so just exceptional. But what makes it even easier is knowing that if we stumble or don't understand it, GHM are there on the end of the phone and they'll either guide us through it or they would take it on and do it themselves for us and tell us how it's been done. Their expertise and knowledge on our system is brilliant. I don't have to re-explain things because they already know how things are set up. My relationship with GHM, it's professional, but it's friendly and easy going. It's not all business. We can sit down and chat about the day while still getting on and dealing with a project or the issue at hand. So it makes the whole experience relaxed. And the fact they will take time to actually have a cup of tea with me, we've even had lunch together, it just makes it a great partnership to work with.